What is up, my friends? You are all very, very welcome along to tonight's late night agenda. Apologies that I am late, and I am late, definitely, but I think I was owed 2 minutes from the other day, so we're all good, right? We're basically quits at this point. So look, there's a load for us to get through today. I do appreciate you guys being in as always, and fair to say, the whole Christensen stuff definitely came as a shock to me, but I'll go through it as always with you guys today, and let's see how we're all feeling about it. We also have a brand new poster for the Sugar Club gig, which I'm going to unveil in a little bit as well. So, yes, how are we? Loads to go through. My camera's been acting up again. That's why I've been late. I've been trying to get the stand in the right position and not having much luck with it, but here we are. So, how are we all doing? We good? Loads to get through tonight, and appreciate your time. So let me see if I can find this first and foremost. Let me see if I can find the old poster and see if I can drag it in and see what you guys think about it. 1 second. 800k for a kid is outrageous. We haven't even gotten on to that part yet, mate. I mean, loads to talk about tonight. Loads to talk about. Right, let's get this. Let's move that to there. So many bleeding things. Right, let me say, first and foremost, that it does look like the LAVIA to Liverpool stuff is going to happen. You know, Arsenal have pulled out of the race, so we don't need to worry about Arsenal. But look, I understand. People woke up today coming in, looking at the stream, going, what, Christensen? Really? Took me by surprise as well. I've got to be on about it. Is your iPad charged? I don't know, but I don't need the iPad for today. I only need the iPad during watch along, so we're good on that one. Right, let me see if I can drag this image in and see what it looks like. Let me just make this smaller. Let me just drag this in, make it smaller. There we go. There we go. Is that too big? Does that work? Yeah, let's go with that there. There we go. There's the new poster. What do we reckon? For the live show in Dublin. Don't forget, coming up on Friday the 4th of August at 7 p.m. Doors open. You can get your tickets at thesugarclub.com. And that is our brand new updated poster for the show. It's much better, isn't it? It's much better. So yes, how are we all? I see somebody saying, where's Craig? I'm here. Always. Ready to go. So let's talk about Christensen, because that's the first thing that we want to see tonight, right? Somebody say milking it. Well then, fuck off. Simple as that. Adios. See ya. Hope you enjoyed that one comment, but there you go, Robert. I enjoy getting rid of you. It's been a stressful day for me today. My dog had to go and get his old knackers cut off, so no Lee Roadie for the doggy, which as a man makes me feel very sorry for him. So look, Christensen links, where have they come from and what do they mean? So according to National and Football 365, not only have Liverpool shown interest in Christensen, Andreas Christensen, formerly of Chelsea, now of course of Barcelona, but they're saying that Liverpool have had a bid of 30 million euro rejected and that there's another bid coming of 50 million euro. Now, I really have no clue if this belongs on Bullshit Island or if this belongs on, you know, Truth Boulevard. I don't know. He's 27 years of age. I would make it a dubious one because everything that I've seen suggests that Liverpool wanted a younger centre-back. Liverpool wanted a centre-back for the future. That's why the interest was in Colwill. But I don't know. I've seen a mixed response from you guys. I've seen a mixed response in our Discord group as well with regards to Christensen. I have no idea if this is nonsense or if this is absolutely spot on. I think it probably belongs on a little island. But yeah, look, I had to speak about it because we are in need of a centre-back. Loads of people have been asking me to talk about centre-backs more. And good news, I am going to be recording a video solely on the centre-back situation yesterday, so we will get to that as well. 27 is the new 23, said Miroslav. Could be, mate. What does that make me then? What's 41? Is 41 the new 27? Can I take that? I mean, yeah. He's better than Matip. Looking good, Craig, said Lee Hall. Thank you. I know somewhere one of my graphic designers is looking at the live show poster going, dude, it's too big. It's in the wrong place. Don't care. It's beautiful. It's a thing of beauty. When it was sent to me today by a new designer, I was thinking, wow, looks really smart. You're saying, can I unmute you? Your comment's literally in the chat, dude. You're not muted. BS Island, I think, said Ian. So do I. But look, straightforward question. Would you take him? Would you take him? It's, I wouldn't. Do you know what, lads? I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't be against it. I wouldn't. I think I've always thought Christensen was okay. But not 50 million euro. What's 50 million euro? About 42, 43 million pound? Not for me. Not for me. I think that's a little bit too much. But just from the playing perspective, I wouldn't say no. Wouldn't say no at all. LAVIA hijack. Don't worry about it. And I mean this sincerely. So with regards to Romeo LAVIA, you're going to see lots of stuff over the next day or two to try and make out like Chelsea are trying to put pressure on us. It's too late. He's already made up his mind. He wants to play for Liverpool. That's why Arsenal have backed off as well, albeit they didn't move on Thomas Partey. So with regards to Romeo LAVIA, I think what Sacha Tavolieri has put out is spot on. I mentioned it to you guys yesterday that there was a bid coming in, a second bid going to be submitted by Liverpool for £40 million with £5 million add-ons. Now, there is a little bit of debate at the minute, guys, because some people think that the bid will be 42.5 million with 2.5 million in add-ons. But look, does it really matter? We're nitpicking here. 45 million, if that's the number, if that gets it done, brilliant. You said money talks. I'm telling you, agree, disagree, David. They want Caicedo. That's who they really want. They've been refused Caicedo with a couple of bids, and now they're looking backwards. But we're moving quickly. And Liverpool are in direct dialogue with Southampton over LAVIA. And I think we'll probably... I don't want to preempt it, but if it's not agreed by Monday and far along, I'd be very surprised. Very, very surprised. I'm going to say that I think LAVIA will be a Liverpool player by middle of next week at the latest. And then the question is going to be, is that the end of it? Or is there going to be more? Craig, is Christensen a left-sided centre-back? Yes, he is. And from people who watch Barca, and I watched quite a bit of Barca myself last season, he was one of their better centre-backs. So I'm okay with the link to Christensen, but I don't know if 50 million euro is too much, or remember, it is euro. When we're talking 50 million, it is euro. We're not talking in pounds. But I also don't know if it's true or not. So, yeah. Look, we'll go back over the Christian stuff in a little bit, but I have a few other bits and pieces that I need to update you guys on as well. Quiva O'Neill, who has been absolutely fantastic on all things Conor Bradley, by the way. She's been spot on all the way through. Really good piece I told you guys about a few months ago where she bigs up his progress. Well, it looks like Conor Bradley is about to sign a new 3-year contract with Liverpool Football Club. Jurgen Klopp has been really impressed with what he's seen in pre-season from Conor Bradley, as have I. I've mentioned it here on streams as well. And I think 3-year contract is just rewards for Conor Bradley. And I'm really excited because he's from the island of Ireland, so I'm obviously a little bit biased on it. But yeah, good news. Well done and well deserved to Conor Bradley as well. Now, the Reds have jetted off to Singapore, but somebody was left behind. Well, frankly, 3 people were left behind. Thiago Alcantara did make the trip. Stefan Bajcetic did make the trip. They're going to rehabilitate and continue the progress at Kirby. But Fabinho didn't board the plane either, because it looks like there's a lot of hope that that deal to take him to Saudi Arabia will be concluded soon enough. Now, as I sit here, I do question a couple of things at the minute. Have the club announced Henderson's departure yet? I know El Ettifaq have announced his arrival. I know he's been training with his team. But am I wrong in saying that as of yet, I haven't seen an official announcement from Liverpool over Jordan Henderson? Now, there's loads to talk about on him tonight. Jamie Carragher's had his say on the situation. And I agree with a lot of what Jamie Carragher says, in all honesty. What else have we got? So, James Pearce has said, Fabinho has been left out of the Liverpool squad for the pre-season trip to Singapore, with the midfielder expected to complete his switch to Saudi Arabian side Al Ittihad soon. 7-0, by the way. Love it. 7-0. Can never get tired of 7-0, mate. Never. Do you think Bradley will start against Chelsea? Tough question to answer, Trevor. Great question, mate, but tough one to answer. They have announced it, have they? Cool. I hadn't seen anything earlier on. Now, I'm playing catch-up today. Got to be honest, with the dog's situation at home here and stuff, I've been all over the place today. But good, it's announced that he's gone. Fabinho, look, that looks like it'll happen soon. But on the question of Connor Bradley starting, it's a really good question. And the truth is, I don't know. Because I don't know if we're going to get Lavia up to speed by the time Klopp wants the season to start. Or, well, Klopp doesn't want the season to start by the time the season does start. So it's a fair question. I don't know the answer. What do you think? Do you think that we're going to see Connor Bradley start at Stamford Bridge? Don't know. I don't know, but we are running out of options in the middle of the park because we don't really have a six, do we? So if Kloppo has to use Trent in the six, then you have two options, Gomez or Bradley, to come in at right back. So it'll be one of those two. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Why is Bradley not on the plane then? I've got no idea. Let me go through the list. I can give you guys the list of everyone that is on the plane. Or everyone that was going over to Saudi Arabia. Or not Saudi Arabia, Singapore. Where's the list? Do, 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 do. I hate when I don't have my table set up the way I want. It completely throws me off. He ain't starting. Well, then who is going to start? You know, because I might be speaking for just me, but I'd rather Bradley than Joe Gomez right now. You know, I could be in the minority there. I swear I had that list here. 1 second. Let me open up my photos. Sorry, I'm just going through my list of photos here, guys. So, oh yeah, I have the full squad here now. Cool. Right, there we go. Nice. Right, so on the plane is Alisson, Joe Gomez, Virgil van Dijk, Kanade, Diaz, Szoboszlai, Nunes, McAllister, Salah, Adrian, Jones, Gakpo, Elliott, Jota, Tsimikas, Robertson, Matip, Clark, Scanlon, Doak, McConnell, Kelleher, Alexander-Arnold, Kumas, Kwanzaa, Mrozek, and Frauendorf. So, yes, no Connor Bradley on the plane over to Singapore. Maybe that's because he's staying behind to sign that new deal and, I suppose, do some of the media work around that new deal. I'm not sure. Maybe there's a little niggle or something with Connor Bradley. I really don't know. But it is exciting because I do think we're going to finally see some activity and some action now over the next 48 hours. Like, of course, I planned on taking some time off this weekend and I don't think I'm going to be able to. Yes, there's the link for memberships as well, by the way. If you guys do want to become a member, we've got two levels. We've got Anfield Agenda FC, which is $2.99, and Anfield Agenda Ultras, which is $5.99. Both options get you custom emojis, get you the Anfield Agenda badge beside your name. That badge will change as long as you're with us. We will keep upgrading the badge for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year. You will also, if you're an Anfield Agenda Ultras member, you will get custom wallpapers designed. You will get member-only polls that will help shape the content on the channel. Sing some songs. I'm not in a singy mood today, dude. I'm not in a singy mood today. It's a really stressful day, unfortunately, and I'm trying to just keep on smiling through it. Think he has a little niggle, said Ryan. Mark said, I'd sooner have Bradley at right back, although he is supposed to be sent out on loan, which I think is stupid. He'll be put in the squad for the new season. I've not been told he's sent out on loan, Mark. You know, we've sent Calvin Ramsey out on loan. My understanding, and of course this can change, my understanding is that Connor Bradley is going to be part of the Liverpool first team squad this season. So that's where I'm at with Bradley. But of course these things can change. There is still a possibility that he might go out on loan. So yeah, on Kimmich, look, I think we can forget about Joshua Kimmich. I've said this a couple of times. He himself has said that he wants to stay at Bayern Munich. So that's probably the biggest indicator we can get of the fact that we ain't going to sign him, unfortunately. Lots more bits and pieces to go through. For those coming in late, I will happily go back over the situation with Christensen for you guys now, because I know you're probably coming in looking at the stream title going, he's finally lost it, lads. He's lost it. Oh, Baldy has lost it. So this originates from National, but it comes via Football 365. They say Liverpool are pursuing Andreas Christensen after a personal request from Jurgen Klopp. I don't know. You know, do we believe that? Klopp said, go get me Christensen. Okay. They write that an opening offer of €30 million was rejected immediately from Barcelona, with a second bid of around €50 million on the way. you know, take from that what you want. I think unlikely. You know, I think it belongs in Bullshit Island, but it is a democracy, so happy for you guys to let me know what you think. Thuram and Sangar would do for me in the midfield department. We're not going to get Sangar. I know he's a name that's hip this summer and that loads of Liverpool fans have been asking me about night after night after night, but Sangar hasn't been on the radar that I'm aware of, and Lavia is about to join. Now, people are still getting worried about the Chelsea interest. Don't be. And I know you'll say money talks and all that, but the dude also has to be able to play. And he's a far better chance, I think, to come into Liverpool now, to build his career with Jurgen Klopp, to nail down that starting berth as the central defensive midfielder. And I think Liverpool have put in a lot of groundwork on this. So for me, I'm not worried about Todd Boehly and Chelsea's interest in him. Arsenal's interest has gone away. We are very close to a number that works for Southampton. And from what I can gather, it's just terms at this point with Southampton about how exactly that fee is structured. That will be the difference maker. So I'm excited. And I think we'll get that here we go from Fabrizio soon enough. Right, David O'Connor, Kochi, look again, man. You absolute legend. Gifting another 5 Anfield Agenda memberships. So they've gone to Foxhounds, The Heart of Football, Ross, Key and Core, and Not Roman. John Conway is a member as well. Thank you, John, for joining with us, mate. Appreciate your continued support. John Conway's defo name that goes back a long way. Right, Matthew said, are you impressed by Curtis Jones? I know you're very critical of him at one point. Yeah, and thank you for being fair about that, Matthew. I have indeed been very critical of Curtis Jones, as I was of Trent at points last season. But I'm absolutely somebody that will put my hands up when a player steps up. And can we say we haven't been impressed with Jones? We'd be liars, right? Because he's been brilliant. He's been brilliant, and I'm so proud that Curtis Jones did step up his game. I said this at the end of last season. I'm going to say it again. It almost felt like when Curtis Jones spoke honestly about his injury, that it got a weight off his chest or something, and he's just been a different lad since. So, brilliant. Yeah, really impressed with Curtis Jones. And you would have to say, you know, there's a proper conversation to be had there about does he start the opening game. I think maybe Jurgen Klopp will go with himself and Alexis McAllister in the 2 number 10 positions or the second part of the midfield. That's my own guess. John Conway, gifting 5 Anfield Agenda memberships. John, you are very kind indeed, sir. They have gone to Umar Patel. Frankly, you're wrong. To Jumpman45, to Zach F, and who was the other one? I missed who the other one was, John. My apologies on that one. Jones has been excellent, said Maddie. He has. And I'm not afraid to say I'm wrong when I'm wrong. I think it happened once in 1987. I think I was wrong about something then. So yeah, not afraid to put my hands up and say I'm wrong. Yeah, probably need Christensen, said Liver Lona. So where are we on Christensen? Thumbs up if you take Christensen for 50 million euro. Thumbs down if you wouldn't take Christensen for 50 million euro. I mean, it's easiest to get you guys to give me the info on that one. What you think? I'd be all right. You know, it wouldn't excite me. It's not like signing Gvardiol. It's not like signing Levi Colwill. Miles away from that. But I'd rather go into a season with left-sided cover than no left-sided cover. But I truly, and I can't stress this enough, I do not know if this is nonsense or if there's something to it. You were dead wrong about Bellingham? Yeah, but I wasn't though, mate. I was spot on about Bellingham. See, that's the thing. You trolling little shits tried to tell me I'm wrong, but every single word I said about Bellingham was true. And I was 2 years ago ahead of anybody else on Liverpool's interest in Bellingham. So I'm absolutely not wrong. But again, mate, no one's keeping you here to watch. So I'll do you a favour and I'll remove you. Just so, you know, you don't have to be burdened with the hassle of having to put up with me every day. You know, I'm good like that. I'm good like that. Real mixed bag in the chat here with regards to Christensen. Yeah, look, it's fair. It's fair because it is a little bit of a shot in the dark, right? So, yeah, I can understand it. And I'm on that fence as well. So I'm with you guys on that one. Owen said yes, but not for that price. Now, again, I want to remind you that the price that's been mentioned is in euro. So it'll be about 42, 43 million pound. I'd prefer Per Schurz. So I am going, there's a poll there for everybody. Would you take Christensen at Liverpool, yes or no? And thank you. I gather that was probably Mark that put that up. Whoever it was that put it up, legend, thank you. So the way it looks with regards to midfielders at the minute is Chelsea obviously trying really hard to get Caicedo in. I believe they've had an £80 million bid turned down today. So they'll go back again, I'm sure, because he wants them, they want him. And I know people are trying to create this narrative that Liverpool could be under pressure now at LAVIA, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think LAVIA comes into Liverpool in the next couple of days. Christensen, who? Surely you know who he is, mate. Andreas Christensen used to play for Chelsea, now plays for Barcelona. How old is Christensen? 27. He's 27, Clifford. I had to do a search of that myself earlier on, mate, just to make sure I was right. But look, I suppose we'll find out soon enough if there's any truth to it. Craig, how the hell does Real Madrid get away with FFP, then buy players they hardly ever sell to buy? You know what? Actually, if you look back at last season, or maybe even the last couple of seasons, Real Madrid have nearly broken even with sales. And I was surprised to find that out myself, but honestly, if you look at the money that they got in when they moved on, what's-his-face to United, the central defensive midfielder to United, they've sold on other players, you'd be surprised. They've actually brought in a good chunk of money. Now, the one that shocks me, how they get away with it, is PSG, because the piece I read the other day, I want to say it was in The Athletic, said that Mbappe, no, actually it was on Sky, it was from Cave Solocol, said that Mbappe gets about 2 million a week, including bonuses and stuff like that. So how could they have had Mbappe, Messi, Neymar, Donnarumma, Ramos, and all the other players that they have there on huge money and not been in breach of FFP? I mean, that to me was the biggest nonsense I've ever seen. So if they could get away with it, I've got no doubts Real Madrid will get away with it, even though I don't think Madrid have much to get away with, in all honesty. Casemiro, yes, that's his name, Casemiro. As I said, I am all over the shop today, lads. I'm playing catch-up big time mentally. Is there any update on Kimmich? Yes, it's not happening because the player said himself he will be at Bayern Munich next season. So, you know, we've got to take these things at face value. Justin Merrifield, welcome to Anfield Agenda Ultras, buddy. Appreciate your support. Really do. Thank you so much for joining. Mark Gay would be a good option. Yes. Oh my God, this poll is so close. Wow. So far, there's been 636 votes, and it's 51% for yes, 49% for no on Andreas Christensen. So this goes to show you exactly how divided we are as fans on this one particular topic tonight. Any chance of Amrabat? I'm going to say no, because I think United are a good chunk of the way along with that deal. You know, the few things I've read coming out of Italy have suggested Amrabat is in favour of a move to Manchester United. Yeah, so that's the only stuff I know about that lately. Who would you sign as an experienced midfielder? We tried to go through this last night, and it's a tough one, because I'd still like us to go in for Thuram. I know, he's not experienced, but I would like us to go back in for him. Barella's the dream, but I can't see that happening. So, it is a difficult one. And I know I can already hear somebody typing out James Ward-Prowse, but I'm going to say no on that one. Don't like Frank Kessie either. Don't like... Look, if I'm being fantasy football, I mean, Frankie de Jong would have been amazing. But again, that's not going to happen. So, my big question here is, do you think we're going to get a fourth midfielder? Because if we do get in Romeo Lavia, which looks very, very likely, I don't know. I'm hopeful, but I wouldn't put my my right testicle on a happening, a fourth one. But we do need one. Like, whichever way we look at it, we need one. You know, we've lost 8 players in this window when Fabinho moves on, including obviously the loan for Carvalho, and we've brought in 2, about to bring in 3. Llorente could be a decent shout. Well played in the chat. Llorente could be a decent shout. I love all the little crybabies coming in. How long did it take you to write out that little message on Bellingham? Because it took us 2 seconds to ban you. See how this works? We can be quicker than you can. It's no problem, mate. So, all good. Do you want him in the club? Who's him? I don't know who him is, Mervyn. You know, you need to give me more updates on that. If you're talking about Christensen, I'm okay with it, but it wouldn't be an ideal signing. It wouldn't be an exciting signing, and it's not one for the future either. It would feel like a very unusual here and now stick and plaster type signing. Now, I'm not going to lie. I actually always thought Christensen was okay. I know it didn't work out too well at Chelsea, but when he first came through and when he went to Barcelona, honestly, I think he's a decent centre-back. I do. We need new owners. Well, I can't help you with that one, dude. I can't help you on that one. What I can help you with, though, is reminding you to hit that subscribe button, to drop a like on the video, and of course, to keep your comments coming. Thank you to everybody that sent super chat so far tonight. Everybody that's taken up memberships or gifted memberships. Absolute legends. Thomas Partey. Nah, we're all right, mate. Thanks. We're all right on him. Yeah. He's staying at Arsenal. They tried to get rid of him to Saudi. Didn't happen. So Partey's going to stay there, which has ended their interest in LAVIA, which means it's basically just us. I know Chelsea are really being mentioned in the media, but they want... I think that Chelsea are just being mentioned for LAVIA to try and make out to Brighton like they have options. Does that make sense? Like, the world knows that Chelsea want to go in there and sign Caicedo from Brighton. And we know that Brighton have a very, very hefty number for Caicedo. So I think this is Chelsea just kind of saying, look, if he doesn't work out, we do have a plan B. Connor Mullen, thank you, buddy, for joining Anfield Agenda FC. Really appreciate you. I think we'll wait for Colwill, said Firmino. Well, that is going to be interesting because right now he has 2 years to go. He's inside the 2 years to go. And he hasn't, as of yet, signed a new contract at Chelsea. And while he doesn't sign a new contract at Chelsea, yes, you would have to say that, you know, keeping him in mind for the long term, I wouldn't rule it out. I wouldn't. Would you get rid of Tsimikas? I kind of would. I just don't see Costas as pushed on enough. And what really put the nail in the coffin for me has been pre-season. I think he's looked terrible in pre-season. Now, I know he's been asked to fulfill a role that he's not used to, playing on the left-hand side of the fence, but tucking in to be the second six. It hasn't worked out for him, and I don't really trust him all that much. Can I say one thing, by the way? Mark Cucurella is a shockingly bad left-back. Did you guys watch the Chelsea game last night? He is awful. He dives in and gets bypassed way too easily. I cannot believe how much money they paid for him because he looks absolutely horrendous. Whereas when he was at Brighton, he looked like a completely different player. Who don't Chelsea want, said Carl. It's a pretty good point, Carl. Yeah, they do want a bit of everyone, don't they, the greedy feckers? DePaul would be a good signing. I think we're just trying... I can see where you're going with Rodrigo DePaul, and we were linked with him before he moved to Atleti, but I've not seen nothing new. Craig, did you hear about the 14-year-old we signed for 800k? Vaguely, but, you know, 14-year-olds, that's definitely one for the future, so not one I'm going to be keeping an eye on soon. Preferred lineup against Chelsea. Right, I'm going to have a bash at this one, and it's difficult because we don't know if LAVIA is in or not, but I'm going to say that if LAVIA signs, and I think he will, I'm going to give you my team including LAVIA. Even though I don't think he will play, I'm going to give you what I'd go with. So, obviously, I'd have Trent at right back, tucking in for the second six, Robbo at left back, Virgin Canade in the centre back positions, Ali in goal. That's going to go with LAVIA in the six. Ahead of him, you're going to have 2 10s. I'd go with McAllister and Jones. And then in attack, this is where it gets difficult. Obviously, Mohamed Salah right-hand side. I'd go in that game away against Chelsea. I'd go Gakpo through the centre and I'd go Diaz on the left. and I bring Darwin off the bench. That's how I'd set up for the game, because it's a difficult one away at Stamford Bridge, and I think Klopp's going to look to rely on people who he's very confident within his system, people who he knows will get the pressing part right, and people who, yeah, I don't think you trust Darwin yet, in all honesty. So I think we may see him come off the bench or be an option for the first home game against Bournemouth. Rob Salmon, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC. Who was it that said just subbed as well? Ricky, thank you, buddy. Said just subscribe. Great show as always. Thank you, mate. Carl, thank you for the super chat. Said, does 5th place get Champions League this season? So it's not 100% confirmed, Carl. But the new format of the Champions League means that there are 2 places up for grabs for Europe's top 2 ranked leagues in the coefficient rankings. Currently, I believe that's the Premier League in Spain. So if that was to stay this way throughout the season, i.e., if Premier League and La Liga clubs do well in Europe, then yes, 5th place will get you into the Champions League next season, and 5th place in La Liga would get into the Champions League next season. But again, it does depend on the coefficient rankings. Now, the Premier League is a good bit ahead, so I don't see any issues there. So in theory, yeah, 5th gets you in. Marquinhos will be available for 25 million. He's my first choice centre-back, elite player, leader, only 29 still, has a few years left. Would take some burden off VVD. Now, this is a sincere question, Thomas, because I've only seen little bits of him playing for PSG and obviously with Brazil. But would Marquinhos have the pace to play in the left side? Would he have the recovery place to play with our high line? It's a genuine question, bud, because I don't know the answer. Thomas, and thank you for your super chat as well, mate. We've done Rob Salmon, thank you very much. Michael Stanley, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC to you, sir. Will Fabinho move to Al Ittihad? Yes, he will. He didn't go on the pre-season tour today to Singapore, and it looks like that there's renewed optimism that that deal will happen and that he will make his move to Saudi Arabia. Jota off the left, in my opinion, said Liam Belson. Again, it's a very fair comment, Liam. Jota has looked very good. You know, and I say this over and over again. We're very lucky, because you can make a valid argument for Diogo Jota. You can make a valid argument for Darwin Núñez. We have a great collection of forwards. It's brilliant. I love it. It makes me smile every time I think about it. Go all out for Caicedo? No. And I'm going to tell you why I'd say no, Arlie. Playing-wise, no argument. He's brilliant. He's versatile. We know he can play at right back. But here's the thing that would worry me about Caicedo. That he'd be twerking as soon as another club comes along. I have a feeling if the likes of a Real Madrid or anything came along, he'd be a potential problem down the line. We've seen him do it already at Brighton. He did it for Arsenal, didn't work. He's doing it now, twerking, trying to get his move to Chelsea. So I'd always be concerned that if his head's turned, and it seems to be turned easily, that he might want to move again. And also, they're looking for about 100 million quid, which is crazy. JC Galvin Neal, you big dirty legend, gifting another 5 Anfield Agenda memberships. These ones have gone to Bobby Two Chins. That could be my name if it was Bobby. To Audi, to NP, to JD74, and to Duke Slim. And Grisa from Napoli is a decent shout, mate. What is the name? It's a decent shout, buddy, and I wouldn't be against it. He's been somebody who we've been vaguely linked to in windows gone by, but, you know, they've put together a good side, Napoli, haven't they? You know, with the money that they've spent on the rebuild since moving on some of the aging players. Craig, remember Arthur. I'm trying to forget. But, yeah, I don't want that situation again. Caicedo's 100 million plus add-ons. That, like, he's not worth it. He just isn't. Like, he's a damn good player. He really, really is. But he is not worth that money. Any news on Decore and would I take him? No updates, but yes, I would take him. He's that little bit more experienced than LAVIA, but LAVIA will be the one. That we'll await to hear if that offer has been accepted or not. The second offer that I mentioned last night and Sasha Tavalieri mentioned today. There's a bit of debate about whether Liverpool are going to offer 40 million with 5 million in add-ons for Romeo Lavia to Southampton, or whether it'll be 42.5 million with 2.5 million in add-ons. I think it's just the structure at this point. I think at the 45, I think it's close to a deal. So I'm really excited about it because we've had an amazing start to the transfer window. Then it's gone really quiet, obviously, and this would be another astute piece of business for me. By me, yeah, I'm fucking brilliant. Just send me out there, sack George Schmadtke. I'll be out there and I'll do the transfer dealings. When do you think we get the LAVIA deal done? Okay, I'm taking a stab in the dark here. Monday, Tuesday would be my guess. I really do think that we aren't far off getting the here we go. I think keep your eye out because these conversations are ongoing and they're serious and they're genuine and there's goodwill on both sides. So I don't think we're that far off. I really don't. What about Cody Gakpo? Can we talk about how good he is? I'm always up for bigging up Cody Gakpo, mate. He's outstanding. For somebody as young as he is, to be as tactically and technically aware and proficient as he is, I love him. I love him. It's just a great piece of business. And how versatile is he? He can play. He can play in any of the front five positions. He's brilliant. Uh, Craig, can I get to watching the Lavia highlight reels? Yeah, I would say we're almost there. 18, yeah, I'd say we're almost there. It's I've been reading up as much as I can on Lavia because I'd only seen tiny bits of him last season, but everything I read says a couple of things: that he's supremely confident in his ability, that he is almost press resistant, and that he is very, very, very good at just finding that little bit of space. So certainly a lot of high praise. And the vote's still open, by the way, and it is still as close as ever. We've had nearly 1,500 votes on the poll tonight. Would you want Christensen at Liverpool? And it's still 51% yes, 49% no. That goes to show you how tight opinion is on this one. I think Doak's going to be great. I agree. He's brilliant, isn't he? So exciting to watch, mate. Just needs to work on a few things, that final product and the old shooting, but for a 17-year-old kid, so exciting. And not an ounce of fear in the lad either. Like, he just looks like he's ready to go, wants to play. Robert Ferrance, thank you for your super chat, my friend. Said, do you think we should expect Liverpool to fight for first? If we get off to a good start, it's possible, but we need to get off to a good start. We can't leave Stamford Bridge with a loss. We need to get out there and try and get ahead early because none of us know how Manchester City are going to react to what happened last season. None of us know if they're going to get off to a flying start or if what happened to us will happen to them, that they have a bit of a hangover from, playing as many games as they did. They also have no Kevin De Bruyne at the start of the season, I believe. So I'm not expecting it, but I'm hopeful. The Anfield Talk just tweeted to expect Lavia news. I mean, can we just take a second to appreciate my magnificence? Can we just take a second for that? Because I know people like to have a pop at me about Bellingham, and that's okay. But I've been spot on with Canade. I was the first one to tell the world about Carvalho. And I told you guys that Lavia was going to be signing 2 weeks ago, I think. I told you as soon as the Fabinho stuff and that gets sorted out, Lavia will be a Liverpool player. And I get that nobody believes little old me, but I don't say these things unless I'm very, very confident in them. And yeah, I don't always hear things like centre-back situation. I've been honest and said, haven't got a clue. Is De Bruyne fit again now? I thought that hamstring snap would have kept him out a bit longer. But either way, on De Bruyne, I do get the feeling he's going to have to be managed a lot better. A lot better. He's getting on in age now and he isn't able to do what he was able to do previously on a consistent basis. He's an amazing footballer, one of the greatest the Premier League has seen. But he's getting older, and, you know, time waits for no man. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? So what'll that make me? Maybe on the other side of the camera in 5 years. I don't know how many more years I've left in me doing this, because it is all encompassing. Like, it takes up most of my life. So maybe behind the camera, or maybe on the another part of the business, maybe. I would love Christensen at Liverpool, Craig. I hope we get him, said Jelly Bags. So again, poll's still open, and it's still the exact same. 1,600 votes. 51% say yes, they would have Christensen. 49% say no. Now, I'm going to bring you back once again to show you and tell you where this came from, just in case you think old Craigo has pulled this out of his backside. There was a report from National, and it comes in via Football 365, and they say that a personal request from Jurgen Klopp meant that Liverpool have had a 30 million euro offer rejected for Andreas Christensen by Barcelona. They write that the second bid of 50 million euro was on the way. Now, here's why I don't believe that. I've never seen Liverpool jump that highly. I've never seen Liverpool go from a 30 million offer to a 50 million offer that quickly. It doesn't make sense to me that we would go back in that highly that quickly. Craig, you were spot on with Bellingham stuff throughout the years. 100% agree with everything now. Spot on with Lavia, McAllister and Szoboszlai. Your ranting is something so key for FSG to spend. Oh, dude, if I ever found out that there was even a 1% chance that me moaning helped, I'd be over the moon. And look, the Bellingham stuff was tough, because I was really invested in that from a personal standpoint. I was really, really expecting that to happen. And it didn't. And look, it sucks. But did I hide from it? Nope. I came on, fronted up, and told everybody exactly what the situation was. I can't help that Liverpool walked away, you know, as much as it hurts me. Right, some more information. Ben Jacobs is talking about this counter from Chelsea for Romeo Lavia. He does indeed say that Liverpool are still the favourites, but yeah, I just can't see anybody hijacking the deal at this point. You know, because Chelsea do want Caicedo, and I don't think they're ready to give up on Caicedo just yet. And I think we'll move quickly now with Lavia, that before Chelsea get a chance to figure it out, it'll be done deal. Sorry, I was just reading back through my notes. I'd really like Benacer, said Nika. So again, we've been linked with him. Or Nico, excuse me. We've been linked with Benacer. I've not seen anything personally over the last 6 months. I remember when I looked up Ismail Benacer and his contract at AC Milan, he was on 30,000 euro a week. And I just thought that's extremely low. And it wouldn't take too much for Liverpool to convince him. But it went quiet after that, so truly don't know. Mickey van de Ven over Christensen. I agree. I would, no problem with that. I've been convinced by Van de Ven. As soon as we were linked with him and I start looking up on him and I reading about his attributes, he's really, really fast. And I like that trait in a centre-back. So, yes, I've not heard anything on Van de Ven since the initial interest, other than I want to say it was Fabrizio who said Spurs were further along, but even that seems to have gone quiet. $30 million a week. Yeah, I mean, chance to be a fine thing, right? So it does look, by the way, like Jordan Henderson is getting 350 grand a week. So the only outlet that I've seen that hasn't yet admitted defeat on the 700 grand a week was the Athletic. They've not backed down. Everybody else is saying 350,000 a week for Henderson, but the Athletic were the ones still flogging that 700 grand a week. I think 350 grand a week is what's right personally. So I want to read you out something from Jamie Carragher. because he's been speaking about the situation. And 1 second till I grab my old notes here. Uno momento. Where's the notes on Carragher here? So Jamie Carragher's been speaking, or says he's been writing in the Telegraph, and this is what he's had to say about the Jordan Henderson situation. Henderson has a big problem to deal with because of his previous remarks in support of the LGBTQ plus community. I fully understand that criticism, and it's justified. Jordan was heralded as on the back of his speaking out, so he has difficult questions to answer, and a critical reaction towards him will have a negative impact moving forward for those communities who cherish support from high-profile players. When other footballers hear that criticism described by him, they will say, I can't go to Saudi. They will be told by their advisors to keep their mouth shut in case they move in the future, thus avoiding accusations of hypocrisy. That will equate to buying silence, a grave impact of sports washing. So, I agree with every word that Carragher said, and in everything that Henderson said in his goodbye, he didn't explain his thought process or why he made the move. And that I found very cowardly from Jordan Henderson. You know, I suppose he doesn't have to, but I find it cowardly. That's my own personal opinion on it. And I think that's the end of it. You know, he's gone now. We don't need to speak about him anymore. He served us with distinction for 12 years. He was a great captain, won everything that could win at Liverpool Football Club. But he is now no longer a Liverpool player, so we'll move on. What happened to Khéphren Thuram to Liverpool? It's gone very, very quiet, you know. So when you think back to the Khéphren Thuram links initially, there was talk that there was going to be a whole host of clubs looking to fight for his signature from Nice this season or this summer. But everything went quiet. We seen his agent, I think it's Rafaela Pimenta, if I'm not mistaken. We'd seen her at the Nice offices, and we all thought that something was happening, but as of right now, nothing. So, bit of a weird one. I feel like we've left them hanging a little bit. You wrote the word script. Is there anything else that you'd like to add to that? Are we talking about Henderson's goodbye? It was like a 6-year-old reading something in front of class. That's what I heard when I heard Jordan Henderson's extremely unsincere or insincere goodbye. It was complete gibberish for me. It was just, there was no feeling, emotion behind it. It was, I am reading these words. This is the things that I am saying. It has been an amazing few years, and cherish I everything. It was just weird. Weird. Make the dancing guy come alive. Tell me his name and I'll make it come alive. Only messing. There you go. There's a bit of Newlon. That poll is still so close, by the way. It's still 51% yes, 49% no to the idea of Christensen. Chelsea reject is Christensen. Yeah, so's Mo Salah. What's your point? Again, trying to be a smart arse to undermine players and people. Salah was a Chelsea reject. De Bruyne was a Chelsea reject. You know? And I think you'll agree with me, mate. They worked out just fine. Dave Smith, thank you, mate, for your continued support of the channel. Appreciate you. Said 20 months, more like 4 years. Maybe just feels that way, pal. What's your thoughts on Trent playing right wing while Salah's at AFCON? That it will either be Dominic Szoboszlai or Ben Doak. That's my thoughts. Yeah, I just can't see Trent being pushed that far forward. So I think it'll be Szoboszlai or Ben Doak. Probably Szoboszlai. What about Kone deal to Liverpool? Don't know is the honest answer, Tom. I wish I knew, because I wouldn't mind him at all, but I really don't know. Give Hendo a break, Craig. I think I've been very fair, Chris. You know, initially I was far more outspoken and angry on the Henderson thing, but I think I've been more than fair, mate. I've spoke about his service to the club. I've spoke about what a great captain he was. And look, To give myself a bit of credit here, Chris, I defended Henderson for years when people were giving him stick and telling us he was crap and wanting rid of him. And I go back and watch any watch along. I told people to stop criticising their club captain and be more respectful. So I do feel like I've been pretty fair about it, but my opinion on it is still my opinion, mate. And I can't get away from that fact, you know? Any update about when Lavia is joining us? So the second offer, I believe, has gone in. Don't know if it's going to be accepted tonight. Don't know if they're still talking over the weekend. But I would be very, very, very surprised if we don't get the here we go in the next 72 hours. Manchester City have been granted permission to expand and redevelop the Etihad. The capacity goes from 53 to 60k. Yeah, easy to do when you're given a free stadium, on top of all the other shenanigans that they've been at. You know, that sticks in my throat, that, by the way, that they were handed that stadium and what they've done, you know. So it'll just be another 7,000 season tickets that they'll sell, but that nobody will mystically show up for, you know. But we'll still be told every game is a sellout, even though we can see the blue seats ourselves. Anasio or Colwill for centre back and Thuram and Lavia in midfield. Colwill for me, but that's just because I don't know enough about Anasio. In all honesty, mate, I've only really seen a few bits of Sporting in the Europa League when they're playing Arsenal and that. So yeah, not really got too much on him. 103k on TikTok, nice. Thank you for everyone for your support on that one. And to the person who said that I was milking the live show earlier on, here you go again. Oh, wrong one. Here you go again. There's the new poster. Just for him. This is just for him now. And of course I'm milking it, mate, because I need to sell the tickets because I'm losing my ass. But that's okay. That's on me, not on you. But if you do want to join us, you know what to do. Sugarclub.com. It is next Friday, so 8 days away until the first ever Anfield Agenda live show in Dublin. I can't wait. I hope to see some of you guys there. If you are coming, let me know. Let me know who to look out for, because we will be doing a, well, I want to call it meet and greet. We'll be popping down for a couple of drinks when the show is over. So looking forward to that. And don't forget as well, somebody believing they're going to the Derby in October. What's happening with Thiago? Nothing as of yet that I'm aware of. There's been some interest. There's been interest from Spain, interest from Turkey, interest from Saudi Arabia, and maybe Qatar. As of now, he is at Kirby with Stefan Bajcetic, and they're still doing their rehab to try and get it back ready for as soon as they can. I don't want to give a timescale on it. Would you rather sign one more midfielder after Lavia or centre back? Good question. Good question, Zethan. Midfielder. Yeah, I'm gonna say midfielder. It's a tough one though, because you could make a very valid argument for either. And fact is, we don't really have adequate cover for Verge, so I could be wrong in my answer. Did you say meet and greet? Yeah, whoever comes to the show, like what we're doing is we're doing the show, then we're going to finish the show, and I'm going straight down to the tables to everybody for a chat and a drink. So yeah, I've worked out into the time slot for the show. There's going to be at least 45 minutes of us mingling, having a drink, and, you know, saying thank you in person. How old is Christensen? 27. 27. 2,000 voted. Wow. And it's increased a little bit. It's now 52% of you guys said that you would take Christensen at Liverpool, and 48% say no. 27-year-old is too old. I think Verge was, what, a year and a half younger when we signed him, if I'm right. What are your thoughts on the Marquinhos links? Well, look, he's got the pedigree. No denying that, you know. I just like, would he have the recovery pace? That's the only question I would have. But I've always look. I think we all like Marquinhos, right? You know, he's a set piece, or he's a danger from set pieces. He puts his body on the line. He's an honest centre back. You know, very high caliber. I just don't know if he'd be able to play our high line or not. And when I say I don't know, I'm sincere. I mean, I truly don't know. Is Christensen homegrown? I don't know off the top of my head, buddy, but I'm sure the chat will be able to tell you on that one. I don't know if he spent enough time at Chelsea, but he may have. I know he moved from our house or Brøndby or somebody in Denmark. Verge was 27. There you go. So, you know, we spent 75 million blips on him. Craig, would you rather have LFC employ Adrian or Ali G? Ali G, all the way. Yeah, Ali G all the way. Right, so the Anfield Talk have put out a tweet that said LFC lead Chelsea for Lavia. The player presented by LFC convinced the Belgian and his entourage. European football also key. Human aspects and the sports project are fundamental with Lavia's family, who are very conscious and reasonable people. So, like I said to you, Lavia will be a Liverpool player. It's just a matter of getting the final details sorted out. So yeah, you see, finally, maybe you'll believe me now. Yeah, I agree with everything written there. Certainly backs up the information that I have to hand. No chance on Christians for me. Don't we want a left-footed centre back? No, we want a left-sided centre back. Doesn't have to be left-footed, just needs to be left-sided. How much of a risk is Lavia? I would say not much of a risk now. We can't get past his lack of real experience. You know, he's got one season in the Premier League. But other than that, he ticks every box. You know, really, really highly regarded. And I think it's a good signing. Yeah. Craig, I just wanted to say you rock. That's so lovely, mate. Thank you. I need that today. I'm not going to lie. I'm having a really bad couple of weeks, guys. I haven't mentioned it on stream, but it's been bad. I'm not been in a good place for the last couple of weeks. But I've just tried to keep my head down and keep ploughing forward. And because I don't have anyone to moan to, you know, I just listen to everybody else moaning at me, and I don't really have anyone I need to moan to. So it's been a tough couple of weeks, but always cheers me up to come in and share some time with you guys. So yeah, appreciate your kindness. It really does mean a lot. Christensen is homegrown. Thank you, Dave Smith. Appreciate that. Will we sign Mbappe? Ah, yeah, defo happening that one. You can put that in the here we go pile. No. Move Robertson to centre back? No, not for me. I haven't been convinced of him in a back three, let alone moving him to centre back on his own. How old is Marquinhos? I believe Miroslavi's 29 off memory here. Love these links in 2023. Remember Jovanovic, Poulsen, and Donny. Oh, David, I truly do, mate. Yes. They weren't great days at all, were they? God, yeah. Some of those signings. Like, I remember trying to convince myself that Joe Cole was Pele. And that when we signed Raul Morelos, that, you know, we were getting back to the top. But yeah, they are good days. You're right. You know, this whole period under Jurgen Klopp has been the greatest time supporting Liverpool Football Club in my lifetime. I've enjoyed it so much. Like, there's been lots of ups and downs, but I've not seen us play football like this. You know, we played really good football under sorry, I'm distracting myself here. We played really good football previously under Rafa at times. Under Gerard Houllier, well, we didn't play attacking football, but we were good in Europe at grinding out results. Yeah, I love it. I love that Klopp's our manager. Would I sell Matip or Gomez? Um, it would make more sense to sell Matip, but from that perspective, you're not going to get a whole lot of money because he's got 1 year to go. He's inside actually the final year of his deal now, and he's what 31, Matip 32, something like that. So you wouldn't get a whole lot of money. Rather sign Verratti or Lavia. Lavia, 100%. If you offered me a 25-year-old Verratti, I'm taking Verratti because he's one of my dream players. Go back to the early days of Anfield Agenda when somebody said, who would you like to sign at Liverpool? Verratti would have been somebody I mentioned a fair bit because he's an exceptionally talented player. But injuries have caught up with him and he's 30 years of age now. So I would definitely go with Lavia in that scenario. Craig, I'm being honest. I want you to keep going for a long, long, long time ahead. Don't stop. I don't know how long I've got left in this industry, bud, but I don't plan on stopping anytime soon, if that helps. Um, I feel like this is going to be a big year for the channel. We've got a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes we're working really hard on. We've had amazing support from you guys since moving back to YouTube. And yeah, I'm very proud. And yeah, I'm just proud and thankful. My first live today, it's been amazing. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much. I love the lives because I don't really have to do much work because you do the work for me. It's fun and easy for me to sit here and just banter back and forth with you guys, talk about what you want to talk about. And I've said this before, I look at other YouTube channels and I couldn't do what a lot of the hosts do on them. I couldn't speak non-stop for 20 minutes, on my own thoughts because I'll end up on 3 or 4 or 5 different tangents if I go off on a conversation. We're back shopping at Southampton. Yes, Tom. We are. It's been a while, hasn't it, since we were at Southampton. What's the news on Christensen? I thought he was playing well at Barca. So the news on Christensen is one that I truly don't know if it's absolute nonsense or if there's anything to it. But just to reiterate, National and Football 365 have reported that Jurgen Klopp made a personal request to the Liverpool recruitment team to go and buy Andreas Christensen. They say a 30 million euro offer was immediately rejected and that Liverpool are coming back with a second offer of 50 million euro. I don't really believe it, mainly because there's no way Liverpool will jump that quickly up 20 million quid. It's just not really something I've seen us do before under FSG. So yeah, not gonna believe it, to be honest with you. But we had a poll on it and it has had 2,242 votes so far. Would you want Christensen at Liverpool? 52% say yes, we would take Christensen. 48% say no. Why would you sign Christensen for 50 million when he's free last summer? So again, it's 50 million euro, but you didn't say either currency. And I don't know, mate. Stanislav, I'm not trying to say you're wrong, I'm right, or I truly just don't know, mate. It doesn't make sense to me that we'd looked at loads of other players, but he is homegrown, I believe. So maybe that adds something to it, I don't know. Thoughts on Evan Ferguson at Brighton? Look, as an Irishman, I am so excited to see Evan Ferguson's development. He is a breath of fresh air for Irish football. So yeah, I hope he continues to progress well at Brighton. He's had a great club to do it, and it's no accident that he turned down more established clubs to go to Brighton because he knew he'd have a pathway through. And he's working with a brilliant manager in De Zerbi, and I think this could be another outstanding season for him. And I think he'll end up at a big club, the likes of a United or I don't want to say Liverpool because I don't think his style goes with how we play now, but I think he's a huge future. Craig, your arse talks more sense than El Nacional. Well, my arse does talk a bit, Paul, especially especially after a few cups of coffee, bud. You know, it's quite vocal, my backside. Some people tell you I talk out of it all the time, but what's up with Christensen? Again, a report said we've put in a 30 million quid offer. It was rejected. Say we're going back with a 50 million quid offer. They say Klopp is pushing it. I don't believe it, to be honest with you. But I have to report on it because, you know, it's a topic that a lot of people have been asking me about. And look, just to remind everybody, I'm going to take Saturday off. So what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to record a couple of videos to go out on Saturday. One of the videos will be purely about centre-back options. So I've got 6 centre-backs that I'm going to do a small little profile piece on, and ask you guys to let me know your thoughts on them. So that'll be coming out on Saturday. So I hope you keep an eye out for that one because you asked and I'm trying my best to deliver. If Chelsea get Lavia, who'll be the alternative? Well, they won't, so it's a mute point, Benjamin. And I'm not trying to be dismissive saying that, Benjamin. We're getting Lavia, so you don't need to stress. As was pointed out by Sasha Tavolieri and Anfield Talk and myself and others, he's already given the nod to Liverpool. He likes the project. He likes we're in Europe, which Chelsea aren't. Let's not forget that. So Chelsea, I think, are just reminding Brighton that they have options and that they're going to try and say that they won't be held to ransom for Caicedo. So let's wait and see. I mean, if I'm Brighton, all I'm going to keep saying to Chelsea over and over and over again is, you paid 106 million for Enzo Fernandez, who was 10 million before. So if you want Caicedo, well, guess what the number is going to be? You're going to have to match that. So let's wait and see what happens there. Right, my friends, I'm going to go and record tonight's video summarising everything that we've spoken about. Again, I apologise I was 2 minutes late earlier on. I'm still trying to replace my camera mount for what I had in previous streams, so apologies that I was late today. Tomorrow we'll be live again, 8:30, same time, same place, and Saturday I'm going to take off. Not sure about Sunday, might take Sunday off as well. I'm going to see how the old mental health is, in all honesty. And yeah, thank you so much for all of your amazing comments tonight. You guys are amazing. You really are. Thank you for your support of the channel. And we will continue to try to do our best to make you guys proud. So much love to you all. Thank you to everyone that subbed, that became members, that sent super chats tonight. You're amazing. Appreciate the shit out of you all. And much